When you think of some of the best weapons in the game, where do you normally associate them coming from? Maybe raids, dungeons, seasonal content? While all of those are true, we also have a type of weapon that some, especially newer players, may overlook, and that type is the world loot weapon. Now, with Season of the Wish, Bungie changed up how we go about obtaining these bad boys. While we're still able to obtain them from 𝗧, the Gunsmith, and legendary engrams and some drops, some of them have also been moved over into specific areas of the game to make farming them a bit easier. So in today's video, we're going to be breaking down all of the best world loot weapons which you can find from Lost Sector rotations, Gunsmith engrams, and even the completely new RNG drops. That way, since none of them are craftable, you don't find yourself accidentally dismantling a really good roll. So let's give thanks to the tier 2 YouTube members and patrons for supporting the content, and let's jump into this. Alright, so a bit of a change of scenery for your boy, but I have two pretty heavily edited videos coming out in the near future, and I wanted to cover today's topic in a timely manner. So that's why you're seeing a galaxy and this website and me. I kind of stole this layout from Fallout Plays, so shout out to him. We are on d2foundry.gg, and this is the website that I use to take a look at all the weapons in the game, take a look at their perks, all the information, all that cool stuff. That is what we're using today to take a look at the world loot weapons. And of course, we are going to start off with the completely new world loot weapons that are 100% RNG drops in Season of the Wish. The first weapon I want to talk about today is the PARABELLUM. This weapon is fantastic. It is a 900 RPM solar SMG, a direct competitor to the Callus mini tool. It has fantastic stats. We are looking at an 82 recoil direction, so if you don't get a good barrel, I probably wouldn't worry too much, but of course, arrowhead break is going to be great here. It's going to make it 100, which is perfect. We also have a very good zoom stat, very good reload speed, very good range, all things that I look forward to in an SMG. So because the reload speed is really good, I personally would want appended mag on mine because I don't really need it to reload any faster, but obviously tac mag is pretty damn good. Flared mag well is always good. Accurized rounds, sure, why not? For the actual main column perks, we have heal clip, which is pretty good, I guess, if you're running a solar build. Chances are, if you are running a solar build, though, you might not have too many issues with survivability, and I don't know if I would dedicate a full perk slot to this. Maybe there's some heal clip enjoyers out there. I'm not too big on it, but it is an option to take a look at. We also have shoot to loot for those of you guys that are into that. For me personally, I'm a bit more on the side of stats for all and enlightened action to boost that reload speed. Permeability, not really for me. And we also have rewind rounds, which this is obviously going to refill your magazine capacity based on how many bullets you hit the enemy with. And for the second column, the only perk that I would really go for here is Frenzy. We of course do have attrition orbs, but attrition orbs is not really too big of a thing for me, honestly. I feel like we already generate a ton of orbs in the game right now. This is kind of what I'm looking at for the PARABELLUM. If you do get this to drop for you and it is a god roll, definitely get it. As far as masterworks are concerned, it doesn't really matter. Maybe reload speed, maybe range. Those are the only ones that I'm personally really interested in. So let's go ahead and move on to the next weapon. We have the ARAGO, something like that. The ARAGO, something along those lines. Anyways, this weapon makes me sad. Obviously, like I said, this is a 100% RNG drop, just like the PARABELLUM, because we're taking a look at those first. And this weapon makes me sad. It is a 600 RPM Void. Can you guys name the last time we got one of those? You probably said Gnawing Hunger. And you're right. It's been a minute that we've gotten a 600 RPM Void auto rifle, and man, is this thing a beauty. In the first column, we have Repulsor Brace. For those of you guys that are into that, maybe you're running 𝗥𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏's build. We also have Subsistence. Obviously, Subsistence is always a very nice perk to have, just automatically reloads your stuff. And we also have Rewind Rounds, just in case you don't get Subsistence. Again, this is 100% RNG drop, so you kind of got to take what you can get. I personally would prefer Subsistence, but maybe if you're running GMs and you're not killing as many ads, Rewind Rounds is great for, you know, the in-game content. For the second column, we have Onslaught. Final blows with this weapon increase the rate of fire. So combine that with Subsistence. I mean, you're looking at something pretty damn good here. We also have Surrounded, which is okay, but it's an auto rifle, so you are going to have a little bit more range between you and enemies traditionally. And we also have Golden Tricorn, which I am a pretty big fan of Golden Tricorn personally. Aside from that, if you are trying to beef this thing up, of course, you can go the route as far as the barrels are concerned. Arrowhead Brake can kind of help out with the recoil direction. This is basically always a really good barrel to have unless the recoil direction is, you know, already really good. But the stats here are nothing to scoff at. The stats are great. So your barrel doesn't really matter unless the recoil direction is just horrendous for you. Maybe you're on controller. And the magazines don't really matter either. The reload speed is fantastic. The magazine is fantastic. For me, appended, tac mag, flared magwell, and accurized, those are any of those are fantastic. Maybe you could do alloy, maybe that's your thing. I don't know how many people like alloy mag, but this weapon's fantastic. This is one of the best guns in the game, in my opinion. I'm a very big Gnawing Hunger fan. I love the way that 600 auto rifles perform. And this thing is nasty. The perk combo of Subsistence and Onslaught is disgusting. And if for some reason you have this by some miracle of God, I envy you. I really do. Moving on to our next 100% RNG weapon, we have the Marcato 45 machine gun. This weapon is a strand machine gun. It is the same frame as the Song of IRU and the Commemoration, so if you are enjoyers of that, then you will enjoy this one. Like I was talking about earlier with the barrels, this has a recoil direction of 80. That is a very solid recoil direction. Again, Arrowhead Brake will make it better, but it is not needed. As far as the stats, everything already looks pretty good here. So accurized rounds, good. Pended, tac, flared magwell, basically the same stuff that I've been preaching here. In the first column right here, we have threat detector, we have demolitionist, and we have triple tap. We even have slice so that you can hit an enemy and you can make them deal less damage, which is pretty good. If you are going the demo route and you're getting a lot of kills, maybe extended mag could be pretty good because you're not going to be reloading at least as often. You know, traditionally you'll basically be having the grenades do that for you. Obviously, if you don't have demo though, extended mag is something that I wouldn't necessarily recommend, although it could be decent for triple tap as well. In the second column, we have Onslaught again. We have Hatchling, which isn't really that great. Surrounded is okay if you are in the situation for it. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with Surrounded. I just don't like needing to always be near enemies to deal more damage. I know that it happens a lot, but then I don't know. I'm not too crazy on Surrounded. For me, Onslaught, Golden Tricorn, pretty damn good. I use Strand Titan. I always have my abilities up. If you have demo, Golden Tricorn is just going to be an absolutely, you know, beautiful combination for you. But yeah, this weapon right here, it is fantastic. There is just so many good options here for you to go for. It's a pretty good machine gun, and I've been a machine gun simp for a very long time, and I really like this one. So moving on from there, we have the last of the RNG drops, and probably the best. I mean, all four of these, fantastic for PvE, and this weapon, this weapon takes the cake, ladies and gentlemen. This weapon takes the cake. So take a look. We have the CRUX Termination. This is an aggressive frame arc rocket launcher, and I'm just going to go ahead and jump into the main perks. You got, here, let's get multi-sled. You got Clown Cartridge. You got Bipod. You got Slide Shot. Slide Shot. Not Slideways, Slide Shot. 0.3 second cooldown on the reload. Slide Shot. We have Explosive Light. We have Surrounded. We have Envious Assassin. We have Reconstruction. And that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, this thing, disgusting. You can get upwards of 7 rockets in the magazine if you have Envious and Bipod. It's nasty. It's a good archetype. It's arc. Hothead who? Yeah, this thing is disgusting. If you just so happen to come across this, I would take it. In an instant, I would take it. It has a terrible handling, stat. So what you are going to want there is, you can go with impact casing here. But more importantly, whenever it comes to the actual barrel, you are going to want, if I can find it, quick launch. This is going to give you 15 extra handling. It's also going to give you extra velocity, which is fantastic. And as far as the masterwork for this one, definitely you are going to want a handling masterwork. The handling is probably the only thing bad that I can say about it. It's just disgusting. But this right here for boss damage, I mean, Come on. You're gonna want it. You're gonna want it. It's pretty good. Yeah, I'm sad. I'm sad knowing that I'll never get this. Bungie's definitely gonna have to do something to add this to the Lost Sectors or the Gunsmith focusing or something. And it makes it worse because the final shape got delayed, so this season's lasting even longer than it normally would. So hopefully the entire season doesn't have to go by before we can actually focus these 4 weapons. But yeah, these things are fantastic, and that is going to end it for the 100% RNG rolls. So now, moving on to some weapons that you can farm from the Lost Sectors, we actually have ourselves a fusion rifle that used to be 100% RNG, but now you can farm it. This is the Nox Perennial 5, and this is a damn good kinetic fusion rifle, and you can already tell why. It is a high impact frame, and it comes with Envious Assassin, and it comes with controlled burst. That's basically what you want. You can't, like I said, you can farm this from Lost Sectors. The way that Lost Sectors work is they have they're on a rotation. So every single day it pulls from a different group of weapons. And whenever you are able to get the Nox Perennial, I think I can put it up on the screen to kind of show you what the rotation is. This is one of the ones that you want to get. This weapon is fantastic. Obviously for the magazines, you have liquid coils, you have accelerated coils, and for, let's see, yeah, the recoil direction is 65. You can slap on arrowhead brake. You're just going to be shooting straight up with this thing. So it is fantastic. You can also slap on a charge time masterwork. It's really good. You don't want to miss out on Nox Perennial if you can help it. These type of fusions are really good for damage phases that kind of last a while. So dungeon bosses and Crotazen is the most recent raid. These are fantastic for that. So make sure that you can get your hands on one of these fairly soon. Next up, we have Old Sterling. Now, I know we have Rufus's Fury, but I'm only going to bring this up. And I think we also have the Season of Defiance Strand auto rifle as well. But I'm bringing this up because I know that 720s isn't everybody's cup of tea. And this one right here has better perks than the other 600 Strand auto rifle. The Old Sterling, in my opinion, is pretty damn solid. Good zoom, good reload, good range, all the good stuff that we're looking for. It has a 63 recoil direction. Again, arrowhead brake, sound like a broken record, but getting good rolls on these things isn't really too different from weapon to weapon. Magazines, again, appended, tack, flared magwell. Those are normally the ones that I'm looking for. But the main perks, we have rewind rounds, which is pretty solid. Really the only thing that I would get in that slot. And then we also have frenzy, which is really the only thing that I would get in that slot. Both of these perks reward the player for just simply being in combat and doing the thing. You don't got to get any kills to get extra bullets in your magazine. You don't have to get any kills to get a bonus to reload speed or a bonus to damage. So this is a pretty cool roll. Also, it looks cool. I know that technically shouldn't be a prerequisite to be in the video, but it looks cool. And yeah, I like it. I like this weapon. It's cool. Next up, we have the IRUKANDJI. I tried my best. This is a fairly good sniper. I feel like a lot of people sleep on this. It is a stasis rapid fire frame. Taking a look at the first column perks, we have Envious Assassin, we have 4th times the Charm, Rapid Hit, and in the second column, of course, we have Firing Line and Focus Fury. This is one of your kind of, oh shit, I need to get some damage out real quick type snipers, and you can just slap this on and pew, 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 get a lot of shots off in a row and get off a lot of damage. Obviously, you want a decent barrel if you can help it to help out with the atrocious recoil direction that it does have. And then, of course, you can slap on a pinned mag, get an extra bullet in there, and slap on a reload masterwork. Fairly good weapon right here. I feel like not really many people ever talk about it, but it is pretty good. And if it ever shows up in Lost Sectors, I would say you should try to grab it. Next up, the Heliocentric. I normally don't really talk about sidearms, but this sidearm has some pretty damn good perks, and I want to talk about it. So it's a lightweight frame, and it is solar. In the first column, it can get Heal Clip for my solar build enjoyers. We also have Enlightened Action, and we have Demo. We have Incandescent in the second column, which can go hand in hand with Heal Clip. We have Adrenaline Junkie, which can go hand in hand with Demo. Surrounded, because it's a sidearm, it's going to be up close and personal with anything. Precision Instrument is pretty good too, and we also have Frenzy. So a lot of really good perks here. I really just wanted to put it here because it is fairly unique. Demolitionist in the first column is always nice. Demo Incandescent, you guys know me. One of my favorite perk combos of all time, but obviously there is more going on here with this weapon. The recoil direction is damn near perfect, so honestly, maybe slap on some hammer forged, get just some extra range so the damage fall off isn't there. And again, for the magazines, pinned mag, tack mag, flared magwell, accurized, all of that's going to be fairly solid. Yeah, pretty good sidearm. I'm normally a sidearm hater, but I can give this one some love. I like this one. Next up, we have Battle Scar, and this is kind of a copium pick. I know we have some Battle Scar lovers out there, and, you know, maybe I might make some people mad, but I'm recommending this off of pure copium because listen, I don't really care what many people say. Kinetic trimmers on primaries, it ain't it. And for some reason, Bungie, they don't want to make it too good, but I feel like kinetic trimmers still needs some help. It kind of needs a lot of help. And for a role that I would recommend here, it would be shoot to loot and kinetic trimmers, because both of those go hand in hand, where kinetic trimmers can pick up ammo, whether you just killed the enemy and it's still pulsing, or it just picks up ammo that are around the enemy that you're shooting. But it's very nice, especially if you need some ammo in a pinch, maybe in a nightfall scenario or something like that. But this is kind of more of a copium role in case kinetic trimmers gets better, and pulses as well get better. I'm still not a big fan of kinetic trimmers, but this role is honestly too good to pass up. The recoil direction is atrocious. Slap on arrowhead break, and again, any of the traditional magazines that I've been talking about all day, I would go with on here. Reload masterwork as well is something that I would go for too. But yeah, kind of a copium role, but this role is just too nasty to ever pass up. Next up, we have the Koronok 22. The only reason that I have this one featured is because it is a 600 RPM, and the 600 RPM auto rifles feel fantastic. And the role that I like here is Envious Assassin and Incandescent. But of course, we also have Target Lock and Adrenaline Junkie, but I don't know, this role, I have one of these roles myself, and I believe I used this exact role during the Crota raid whenever we were doing the day one, and I absolutely loved it. I mean, this is an auto rifle that I have a soft spot for. Suros auto rifles just feel so awesome to use, and this perk roll right here is fairly good. Recoil direction is kind of solid, so you could go for the extra range if you wanted to, but Arrowhead Break's going to perfect that. Light Mag is a magazine that I like because this is going to give you a little bit of extra range and reload. And of course, we have Appended, and we also have Flared Magwell. Now, for the last of the Lost Sector weapons, we of course have the Harsh Language. Now, I get it, Forbearance exists. We also have that new Waveframe GL with Volt Shot on it in the Nightfall playlist, but Harsh Language is still pretty solid, especially for like a Gerfalcon's Hunter or something like that. It's pretty good. So, taking a look at the Harsh Language, we have Threat Detector, we have Field Prep. Honestly, Wellspring isn't bad either. We have Envious Assassin, even Stats for All. For me personally, though, if I were to go for one, I like Wellspring a lot. I like Field Prep, and I like Envious. And for the second column, Destabilizing Rounds. This is pretty nice to just kind of spread Volatile to a bunch of enemies that are next to the ones that you're already killing. And we have Repulsor Brace right here. So if you're running a Gerfalcon's build, then you got something fantastic right here. Now, moving on, we have the Gunsmith weapons, and I saved these to the end of the video because they've been around for a very long time. So you guys probably already know this, so I'm just gonna kind of fly through these really quick. The KRAIT. This weapon's been around for a second. We have Overflow in the first column, Stats for All, Subsistence. And in the second column, we have Headstone if that's your thing, but I don't really like it, so I go with One for All. So these rolls right here, or these perks right here, are absolutely fantastic. Recoil direction's atrocious. Slap that on. Boom, boom, boom. This is where you're looking at for the KRAIT. This has always been a fantastic 720 stasis auto. Next weapon. FUNNELWEB, Subsistence, Frenzy, Pinned Mag. Recoil direction is perfect. So that, boom. Here's your god roll for the FUNNELWEB. This weapon's been around forever. Next, the OGMA. Pulse rifles aren't exactly where I want them to be, especially lightweight frames, but I still like the OGMA. The reason being, as you can probably tell, demo in the first column, and we also have One for All, which is fantastic. We also have Stats for All, which can go well with One for All. Stats for All and Dragonfly also work too, but something like this is pretty good. We even have Adrenaline Junkie. Taking a look, recoil direction is atrocious for the magazines. You can go with any of these and be just fine. The last weapon, which, I mean, who doesn't have this weapon after the crafting? So just gonna keep it simple. Stats for All, Ambitious Assassin, Incandescent. That's all I like for this weapon. But of course, we do have one for all and stats for all if that's your thing. But ambitious, in can, you can get a lot of bullets in the magazine, and you can make everything blow up in a fiery blaze. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for me today. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I'm sorry that it's a bit different and the production value isn't necessarily there, but I needed to get this video out before I get out some future ones, so I wanted to make sure that I covered it and at the very least got the information out there. So I hope you guys did enjoy. Regardless, the word of the day enjoyers should be scrolling somewhere on screen, so shout out to them. I appreciate you guys supporting the content. The word of the day for today's video is going to be nut, because I was thinking of what it should be, and I have this right here. So the word of the day is nut. So put nut in your comment down below to be featured as a word of the day enjoyer in today's video for the comment of the day or whatever. And yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for checking out the video. Thanks for supporting the content. I'll see you guys again soon over on my live streams, link in the description, or in my next video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.